start to get a lot more active, moving around a lot more,
Want to go
looking,
see those people.
yeah, and see where the people are at, because somebody's supposed to be coming to hold me.
So they love to be held.
Yeah. And that's not typical of Sloth. Now, Flash is a more typical Sloth, where he was just spending time up at the top of his enclosure this morning, didn't want to come down because he wasn't hungry, and so he gets to do what he wants to do, and so that's why we had to switch over and just use, both Dash and Zoe this morning.
She just grabbed on his collar. She came.
And some people will be worried because she starts to clamp down more over time as she gets more comfortable. Because people are like, is she on edge? Is she scared? Because she's really clamping down on me. I'm like, that's just her relaxed
She just
state.
wants to be.
Yeah, because this is opposite. Their claws work opposite to our hands. Where squeezing down for me is difficult to do because I'm using muscle and energy and ligaments.
Opening up is hard for you.
Yeah, it's opening up is what's difficult for them to do.
What?
He doesn't seem to be too interested in it today. He's already eaten.
Well, he ate just a little bit this morning, and he needs to go to the bathroom. We thought he was going to go to the bathroom last night, and he only goes at night, so don't worry. But, yeah, he didn't go last night, so he'll eat it tonight or not. He still has to go.
So why the...
She went last night.
Yeah.
A little bit. So when they go to the bathroom, they go all the way down to the base, the floor of their enclosure, and they go a little groovy back and forth, back and forth. So they give you little dingleberries and some chunks. And they don't like to have baths. So,
Your hair looks like mine, Zoe. Dark on the bottom and blonde on the top.
Dash is a lot darker because he's a lot younger. As he gets older, he'll get
No.
he should be about the same size.
He should be.
He might be a little bit smaller.
He'll be 2 in December.
Yes, yeah. And he just
turned
one August 5th. He was a little bit, yeah, he's a little bit smaller than what Zoe was at a year old.
So she might not look like that. But
That's the thing, the nutritional factor really he looks a lot bigger and he's got longer hair too because he's older, but they're about the same size.
Now he said y'all were about to get a pool.
Yes, so she will be coming on Friday morning. How old is she? She will be 4 or 5 months old. I'm not sure exactly.
Oh, so she's just a baby.
Yes, yeah. So she'll only weigh like a pound and a half, 2 pounds. So she'll be so small that she'll be the same size that Dash was when we first got her and Zoe. And when we first get them, they're so small they can't even wrap their legs around their waist or torso. We have to carry them on our arm. It'll be really cool. Because I've only been working here for about 4 months. I've known about this place for the past like 3 years, and so I've got to see it grow because I work at the large animal vet that would come down here and do all the vet work and healthcare. So I knew all of the animals, and I got to be around all the animals, but I didn't get to experience him and Zoe growing every day and seeing their milestones.
So you're going to get
now
to see.
actually get to partake in that, see how they're, because even Dash still, as they're growing, they go through little quirks where sometimes, like he'll do how he's doing when he leans back, sometimes he'll open his mouth up real wide, and he'll just like sit like that with his mouth halfway open, and then he comes back up, but his mouth is still hanging halfway open.
She made an excellent point in her life.
Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe that much too.
But now you do.
Even little ones, like my grandson, he's 4, but when he was like 2 and 3, he was like,
Yeah. But he'll go through little quirks like that, where there for a week or 2, he'll just have his mouth hanging open, and then he'll transition over into like sticking his tongue halfway out of his mouth, which leaving his tongue sticking out. And then there for a little bit, he went through a spell where, he still kind of goes back and forth with doing it, and he'll be holding on to somebody with his back legs and let go completely with his front arms and just be reaching completely all the way backwards, stretched out, and then out of nowhere could do a complete sit-up and sit up really fast up onto the person. It always freaks everybody out. But he did that for like a solid week or 2 there in a row, where he did that just every day. What are you doing? Why are you doing that?
"It's like your tongue's stuck out."
they're such routine animals and they like to do the same thing the same way every day, it just began to be part of their routine that every day at a certain time in the morning and a certain time in the afternoon, they were held by the breeder, and it just became part of their everyday normal routine. That's what they've stuck to ever since then.
So how much will you have to hold the baby to get her conditioned?
She will be already conditioned when
Oh,
we get her.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so she'll get used to it.
Yeah, but it's still going to be a complete. You know, if we were to get her and just put her into an enclosure and treat her how we do Flash, where he just stays in there and does his own thing all day, yeah, she would slowly go back to original Sloth's ways, which is being very solitary. And so Dash has even come, or Flash has come a long way from what he was when we first caught him. So when we first caught him about 3 years ago, he was not comfortable with being around people whatsoever. He came from kind of a facility, sort of like a zoo, where he had somebody go in and feed him and then come right back out. That was all the interaction that he had. So it was a complete change to have somebody in there talking to him, sitting in the floor of his enclosure like a weirdo, and trying to get him to come down and interact with him. Yeah. And so he, for a long time, was very standoffish and was like, "What are you doing? Why are you in here? What is wrong with you?" And slowly, as the months went on, because it was really the first 2 years to get him to the point where he would start to come down. But they're very routine animals, and then John would do the same thing with him every single morning. 9:30, come in, open up his door, start chopping up everybody's veggies for the day, and then go in and start talking to him and get him to come down. And regardless of if he came down or not, he would still get his food and his dish on the floor level of his enclosure. So he would have to come down at some point the day to get it. And he just started to realize that if I already start to come down, I'm going to get it a lot sooner than I would if I just stay up here and wait. No. And so it just started to become normal for him to already be down by the time that John was done chopping up his veggies. He'd turn around and Flash was already right there in the door frame, holding on to the door frame, reaching out, trying to see if he's going to come give him his breakfast. And so then, after he started hooking onto the door frame like that, we were like, well, let's just give him a way for him to come out here and spend time with us while we're still, chopping up the veggies for him. So that's how we did the branch in the kitchen for him to hook onto the door frame and then hook onto that next branch and actually come out there onto it. So that's what he does for his encounters. John was busy this morning. He only was able to come in for just a few minutes, and that was unusual for Flash, and that's probably why he decided to not come out today. Because everything else was the same, but John wasn't there, and John is his person. So I'm pretty much just chopped over to Flash because I've only been here for 4 months.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Take that for you.
Yeah. But I do all of Jackson's encounters every single day, and so they've really got to learn me a lot quicker than Flash has. Because Flash only has an hour in the morning, and that's it. And most of the time, he has other people feeding him. I'm the one talking, and he hears my voice, but everybody else is feeding him. But these guys, so me with the food and me with the transfer, and I start patting her on the head, you gotta touch her legs for her to come over, she knows it's time to transfer. And he knows that when I come up and start talking to him, and I say the same thing to him every time, I go to put my arm down, he knows I'm going to it. And so they learned that pretty quickly. But, yeah, good now when he's around like 6 pounds, but when he gets to be up to like 15 pounds, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to transfer him the same way. Because for me, he'll climb up onto my arm. Kevin transfers him a little bit differently, but I found the most accurate and successful way to get him to transfer over is to just back up to my arm.
It's crazy they don't speak.
If they have any little bit of a smell to them, it's just because their enclosures, when they go to the bathroom, they go once a week, and it's built up all week long, and it's pretty putrid when it comes out. We have the way that it's set up in there is the door to the kitchen. You go in, and then you have to open up their individual doors to go into their enclosures. But I can know as soon as I open up that door to go into the kitchen if somebody has gone to the bathroom. And it sits there overnight because they'll go, usually like midnight is about when they go, and it sits until 9 o'clock in the morning. And so it stinks up the place, yeah, and so then they, stink the next day or two. But that's
You
really
went
about
last
it.
night, but you don't stink, baby. You don't do baby girl.
It does usually, she smells usually a little better than she does.
You have food on your nose or butter?
Yeah, I know, he hates this mouth and this is all like,
Say, well, I am just a child. Oh my gosh, somebody's having a big time.
We are heading that way.
It's jumping.
Yep.
Said it's over the serving.
Oh, yeah.
All the babies.
guess,
And I'm like, well, who took her? And I'm like, wait a minute, there's chairs.
yeah.
Crawled on the underneath.
Zoe gets to be very exploratory sometimes, and I guess when she went to the bathroom last night, she was down on the floor, she looked over and realized there was a chair on the floor, that's her enclosure, and decided to climb onto it. Yeah. All it is he's working on, but Flash is probably not too real now.
Well, Dash didn't care too much when he started with it.
Yeah.
That's noisy.
And it's really noisy for Flash because Flash's enclosure goes up 10 feet. The top 10 foot of that is right beside where he's working.
Oh, so he's not.
Yeah, and it's plexiglass on the side.
So he's not working out at all.
If I were to guess, he's probably down in the kitchen right now. So I left that door open.
So what's, is that part of his enclosure underneath or what is?
Yeah, so the left side of it, that's Flash's outdoor enclosure, and then the right side of it is Zoe's outdoor enclosure. And the doors that you can kind of see back behind the wall in there is their inside closure.
Well, see, when he had his head back, I was gonna get it, but he moved his head before I could get it. Did you